Joining me right now with an exclusive look at the new facility is Energy Secretary Rick Perry. Mr. Secretary, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome, Maria. It's a beautiful place out here.
And you are leading the dedication of this new plant today. How important is the new plant to this trade deal and easing trade tensions with the EU?
Well, obviously, this is one of a total of 6. We've got 2 that are up and running right now, 4 that are in some part of being completed and ready to be selling U.S. LNG across the world. But this is a fabulous opportunity to send a message. I was in Belgium about 2 weeks ago talking to my counterparts in the EU, as I'd also talked to some folks from other parts of the world as well. But they know that we have this extraordinary supply. What's happened in the energy sector is phenomenal from the standpoint of production of liquefied natural gas, and it has multiple impacts, obviously, for national security in America. The idea that we're being able to supply our own gas and oil supply, but also to go to our allies. And that was the message the President had for the EU President yesterday, is this isn't just about an economic thing for the United States. It's about the supply and the security of our allies in the European theater. They don't have to sit there and be held hostage with just one supply of gas. The United States, whether it's going to be going into Poland, whether it's going to be coming into the southern part of the European Union, they can rest assured that the United States is going to be there, be a supplier with no strings attached of liquefied natural gas.
So what kind of a deal are we talking about? I mean, because I know that the President pushed back at the NATO meeting just a couple of weeks ago, basically said, look, we're protecting you from Russia and you're buying your gas from Russia. So is he going to take some of that market share?
Well, absolutely. That's what we intend to do. The Nord Stream 2 and the Turkish Stream, which are coming in from the south, neither one of those are commercially viable. They're there so that Russia can be the sole supplier of energy for the European Union. The vast majority of the EU understands that, and they're not for those 2 lines as well. Germany is. I think Austria has a tendency to be for it as well because they've got a company that is going to help construct it. But at the final decision-making process, I think the Europeans recognize fully that the United States is a supplier of LNG that they want to have. And it does a multitude of things. Not only does it give them some security from a national security standpoint, it also will have a massive positive impact upon the environment. We've seen that right here in the United States with over the last decade, 14% decrease in our carbon emissions, and that's what the Europeans are really focused on as well. So they can do 2 things that are really good for them: national security and helping their environment, and the United States and our LNG is going to be a major player with that.
So tell us about Dominion Energy Cove Point LNG. This is the 2nd natural gas liquefaction facility to enter service and the first to be built on the East Coast. Tell us the significance of it and what kind of production you're expecting here.
Yeah, and an international partnership. Japan and India both are partners in this plant. As you can see right over my shoulder, there's a tanker that's waiting to be filled and sent on its way. When I was over in India earlier in the year, we had a load of gas coming in to India for the first time. So these are amazing times. But the message is clear. The United States is blessed because of innovation, hydraulic fracturing, and our ability to directionally drill, to have access to this shale gas and unconventional play. It is putting America in a place that we haven't been in 60 years as a net exporter of natural gas. So geopolitically, you think about, Maria, 5 years ago, where we were from the standpoint of being reliant upon some countries that didn't necessarily have our best interests in mind, to today being the largest oil and gas producer in the world. A stunning turnaround, and anyone who would argue that that's bad for the United States. And we're going to be able to, on the environmental side, I think, again, it can't be understated how much of an impact it has to take those old, inefficient plants off that are running in China and India and in Germany, for that matter, replace it with LNG, and I will suggest that for the Germans and for anyone else,
right,
the best interest there is in American LNG, not reliant upon the Russians as their sole source.
The president has talked a lot about the price of oil and about manipulation going on in the market. Do you see more production impacting oil prices as well?
Well, here's the real issue from my perspective. The United States can fill the pipelines around the world. As a matter of fact, we fill the pipelines so much in the United States that that's our limiting factor. Going out of the Permian Basin into the world market, it is restricted at this particular point in time because we don't have the pipeline capacity. So building those pipelines, getting the spigot open in a bigger way from my perspective, and I think from the president's as well, is a clear message that that's the way to help address the price of crude, is get more in the market. It's just a plain economic standpoint of supply and demand. And when there's a huge demand out there right now, little restrictions in our pipelines, but over the next 12 to 18 months, we'll be opening them up.
I want to get your take on this. Russian hackers reportedly infiltrated a network of electric utilities last year. According to the Wall Street Journal, a Department of Homeland Security official said that it could have led to blackouts or even worse. How serious is the risk for hackers to be successful in the near future, sir?
Well, it's obviously a real concern that we have. You know, 5 years ago, this wasn't something we particularly worried about. But literally millions of times a month, you'll see companies that are being hit, particularly these electrical control panels. The sector-specific agency that has the responsibility for that is the Department of Energy. So we're working on it. We've stood up a new office called Caesar with cybersecurity as being the real focus there. Tuesday, I'm going to be in New York City with the Secretary of Homeland Security and some other folks who have cybersecurity in their portfolios as well to talk about the United States and our focus upon cybersecurity in this country. It is real, but we've got some of the best in the world that are doing their due diligence at our national labs to come up with the defensive and the offensive ways to deal with this.
Then there's Iran. America is pressuring its allies to stop importing oil from Iran ahead of the reinstated sanctions next week. Iran is threatening unspecified countermeasures. What might they be? Your reaction to Iran?
Maria, the president has been very straightforward. He's been very blunt with the Iranians, the destabilization of the Middle East and other places around the world. He's just not going to put up with it. And whatever we need to do to send the message that Iran can be, they can be participants in the world order. They can be participants in that part of the world and do it in a civil, in a peaceful and a thoughtful way. If they don't, the president has been very clear. There will be powerful sanctions. There will be strong pushback from the United States and our allies, sending the message. This isn't about the Iranian people. This is about the leadership in that country, the Revolutionary Guard in particular. Act decent in the world you live in, and you can expect to do business with the United States. If you don't, there will be hell to pay.
Yeah, well, he has been very clear. Secretary, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much.
Good, Maria. So long.
We appreciate it. Secretary Rick Perry joining us there.